Hello, my name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Nicholas Montez. Welcome back to another YouTube channel video, everybody. I'm so excited to have y'all back here together again. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing the next big thing today. So today, as of course, it's October 31st. Happy Halloween, everybody. But today, we're not just talking about Halloween, but we're also talking about the end of the month for movies for October. Wow. I can't believe we actually have 2 more months of 2021 left. Well, tomorrow it will be 1 month. But with that said, we're going to go ahead and start ranking all 6 new release movies that I saw from the worst to the best. All 6 new release movies of October 2021. Let's go. So just a point of reference, there are some movies on here that I didn't technically review, but that's just because I saw them late. So there's at least like 2 movies, the one I'm about to talk about right now, and the other one that I haven't talked about, but all the other ones I have talked about. And Venom Literally Carnage, I have to say, was kind of disappointing. Now, to be clear, I sort of liked the original Venom. I thought the original Venom was more enjoyable. But what I enjoyed about this movie was just kind of the relationship between Eddie and Venom. I thought was endearing. I thought it was enjoyable. It wasn't like great, but it was a cool like little dynamic that they were having a rough time kind of creating a relationship, and I thought that was pretty interesting. And it was also just pretty funny. Another thing I also liked the Carnage character. I mean, Carnage was kind of useless in this movie, but Cletus Cassidy, the guy that played him, I thought he did a great job. I thought as this serial killer, he did a lot of great things. He almost reminded me of Drex from Danger Force or Henry Danger, honestly. And he fit the tone right. How he was just this fun character, but he has this dark history of what made him so evil. And the relationship between his girlfriend and stuff, it all works nicely in the movie. And there are some at least pretty cool action sequences. Carnage, when he first shows up, I was like, I'm scared. When he was doing it, I was kind of scared at that point. But overall, it was just kind of disappointing. The story didn't really do anything. There's just some weird stuff about this wedding storyline, and I don't really think it worked. Overall, it was at least a better sequel. But the end credits scene with Venom entering the MCU and him licking the TV, which has a visual of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, that's exciting. But everything else seemed pretty bland. And one more thing, none of these movies are technically bad, so this is still a positive score. I would give it like a B- or something, but it comes in last place for me. Now, this is a fine little film about vampires and this guy, doing all this. It was a fine story. It wasn't my favorite of the bunch. It was kind of nice to see Debbie Ryan again after, seeing her and Jessie, because Jessie was one of my favorite performances of hers. I love Jessie so much. Especially, I actually watched it after Cameron Boyce died. So that kind of pays some tribute to it. But overall, it was just a fine movie. I thought the cast was pretty good. Some of the music was pretty good, but overall, just meh. It was fine. Now, this was another good movie. I thought that it kind of was like Scream a little bit, where we're trying to find out who this killer is, and we're trying to find out. You kind of get into explorations with the characters and all these different relationships, but I don't really feel like the characters were interesting enough. I mean, they try to explore it into all these different ways, and I just don't think it was very interesting enough, and they try to do Scream, and I just don't think it was interesting enough. Granted, we did get a lot of bloody kills, and I thought they were pretty clever and excellent, but just overall, it wasn't my favorite movie, but I did at least like it. Now, Army of Thieves, as the last movie of October that I'm seeing, I thought it was a pretty good film of the bunch. It had all of the heist stuff that I wanted, while still having some pretty cool action and just a bunch of good stuff. And the way it kind of takes place in the Army of the Dead universe seems pretty cool. The way they actually brought the nerdy heist guy back, how he's kind of just intrigued by opening safes. It's just a fun little thing that you get to see in this movie that I thought was very good. And teaming that guy up with the hot girl from Fast and Furious, from the past couple of Fast and Furious movies, was just really good. And you just kind of get this other batch of characters that is also pretty fun and likable. And so overall, I thought it was a pretty good movie. I think it's actually better than Army of the Dead, and I just think it's a better constructed movie. Though the ending doesn't really make sense if it takes place before Army of the Dead or after Army of the Dead. Because at the end of Army of the Dead, Dave Bautista's character dies. So, who knows? But yeah, that's my thoughts on Army of Thieves. Now, Dune, if you know me, was one of my most anticipated films of 2021. Well, at least for fall of 2021, because when I saw the trailer for this movie, I was like, this looks absolutely awesome. And, like, the world just looks amazing. And what really gets me into films is our stacked cast. And what I mean by stacked cast, I mean by cast where you just know every name that's in it. You know every person that's in the movie. And this is one of those movies. Obviously, Avengers is one of those movies. But Dune is another one of those movies that just has a stacked cast. Where you have Timothée Chalamet, which is technically an actor that I know, but I never watched any of his films. You got Jason Momoa, Josh Brolin, Oscar Isaac. You got Zendaya, which actually doesn't play a big part in the movie. Rebecca Ferguson, which was in Reminiscence a couple months ago. You also, you get Dave Bautista. You get the Eric Selvig from the Thor movies. You get all these great actors and actresses all together in this big epic world based on a book. And I thought it was pretty cool. Some of the action was pretty cool. The world was interesting. The characters were pretty interesting. I wish that some characters got more time to shine, like Dave Bautista's character and Zendaya's character, because those two actors, they're too charismatic to be put on screen. But I did like this movie, and I thought it was at least worth checking out. Now, Halloween Kills, if you guys have been wondering, if you go back to the past two videos that I posted today, you will notice that I actually watched the entire, almost basically all the other Halloween movies, because as you know, I created this whole series where I was gonna watch all of them leading up to Halloween Kills, but it never happened, and because none of them were available at the time. And I was able to watch Halloween 1978 because my sister owned it, and so I was able to watch it, but she never owned any other ones. Technically, she owns Halloween 2 and Halloween 3 now. And so basically, now that it's Halloween season, they're all free on AMC Plus or something, or at least Xfinity. Now that I've seen Halloween Kills, I can finally say that this is a great movie. So I thought that, because if you think about it, what I loved about this movie is that Halloween 2018 was the movie about how the events of the first movie in 1978 affected Laurie Strode's life, and this film shows us how that night when Michael Myers went to attack Laurie Strode impacted other people in Haddonfield, like Billy and Lindsay, which were the kids that Laurie was babysitting when Michael came home that night to attack Laurie. Or Miriam, which was with Loomis in the original film when Michael escaped. Or the new kid that was in this flashback in the movie, which we don't get much of, but we do see his son in the 2018 film. And also the kills, as much as this movie lives up to the title, because the body count is absolutely insane. They kill characters that I was not expecting. And even though, like, this movie's all about the survivors of Michael Myers, and they kill a bunch of survivors of Michael Myers. And it's just insane. they really developed the story a little bit better with Laurie Strode and stuff like that, and all of this. And my mom was saying like, "Evil dies tonight." She's saying that was cringy, but like I was like being hyped up for it. Like, "Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight." Like, yes, the town is finally teaming up to stop Michael Myers once and for all. And so I really enjoyed this movie. It was just a movie that put a huge grin on my face. And just to let you guys know, I'm going up as Michael Myers for Halloween this year. And I haven't gone up for trick-or-treating since 2018, which was the last time we actually got the last Halloween movie. So, that's just a very cool coincidence. For some of my issues with the movie, I would probably say that the movie has a difficult time trying to develop the story. When it cuts to scenes, I don't like when it cuts to a scene, it just keeps opening with a person opening a door, and I just don't think it works that well with it. And when Michael Myers is going to kill people, it just feels kind of weird in that most of them just feel kind of similar into what's going on, and I just don't like why they're doing that. And it's like I like it, and the kills are pretty bloody and they are clever, but I just don't like the way they do it. And also, because you know, you're in a new stage of life and you're watching Halloween in a newer shape of form, I feel like that they're trying to make these new Halloween movies into horror movies, but also action movies. Like, if you see you see the 2018 version, when Laurie Strode is using a gun and stuff, and, you know, she's, like, bashing Michael with a frying pan, and, you know, he's knocking him down the basement, that stuff looks cool, because it works. But when Michael is, like, stabbing the firefighter, and he's doing it kind of slow, and making it look like he's in the original films. And then when he's trying to fight the firefighters, it's like he's trying to be this excellent fighter, and kill he's actually fighting. Like, he's not just killing them, he's fighting with like these weapons and all that. And I don't really think that works in a horror franchise like this. Now, obviously, when the good characters are fighting the bad guy, it works because you're trying to get away. But when the creepy guy, when the villain is trying to fight in horror movies, it just is weird because their main point is trying to kill the person, not trying to fight and have excellent fighting skills. That's just my thing. But overall, I loved Halloween Kills. It's one of my favorite films in the Halloween franchise, and I just absolutely love this movie. And it was definitely one of my favorite films of this month. So that's my review for Halloween Kills, and my ranking of all 6 new releases of October 2021. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram is Marvel6, and my TikTok name is WarrenFan. If you guys don't understand those names, head to my bad section so you can follow me on all social medias. I'm also on Letterboxd. It's the same name as Instagram, Marvel_6_, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.